All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar event, our KidCheck demo webinar event. Welcome to everyone. This is Joshua, and I'm the church kind of going through the spiel we did yesterday. For those of you who kind of listened to that, you'll have to bear with us here. A few technical things before we get started. I'm our church Windows representative attending the webinar today and today's facilitator, but I'm not the presenter for today. We're going to get over to those folks there at KidCheck here momentarily. But before we do that, we want to talk about a couple of technical things about the webinar. If you've never attended a Church Windows webinar event before, please, it is going to be a 20 to 30 minute format today. The webinar was advertised as 20 to 30 minutes. We might go longer than that a little bit. We will have a recording of this event on our website or our YouTube channel at some point here, maybe as soon as between now and Friday, but we will have it out there at some point. If you have never attended one, click the little red arrow at the top sidebar of your control panel there for the control panel. It minimizes the webinar control panel, gets it out of the way. You can get the full visual effect of the presentation. And if you've got a second or dual monitor set up, just drag that out to your second desktop just to get it out of the way. Additionally, if you have questions, please type those into the questions portion of the webinar control panel. We will have folks here to monitor questions, and we'll get those answered for you. And if there are questions, of course, at the very end of the webinar, we will go ahead and repeat those out loud for everybody's benefit, and we'll see what we can do to get those answered for you. Now, before we turn it over to the KidCheck folks to get a wonderful look at what their application and software does here, I just wanted to mention a couple things about Church Windows. This event is about the KidCheck application and software. This is not about the Church Windows interface. We already have information on our YouTube channel here about how Church Windows works with or interfaces, or you can bring KidCheck information into Church Windows. So if I go to our YouTube channel here, and we notice right here, we've got our version 19 membership announcing KidCheck. That's an actual 20-minute or 30-minute video on or movie of how you would actually bring in or connect Church Windows to KidCheck when that occurs. But we're going to be looking at the actual KidCheck program and application today, so you folks, and myself included, can get a better idea of what their program actually does. And we're very, very delighted to be working with them as our most recent Church Windows partner. And so let me go ahead and minimize my screen, and I'm then going to change our presenter over to Darren. And so there you go, Darren, and it's all yours.
Good afternoon. This is Darren Hubney from KidCheck. Welcome everybody to, I'd love to show you what KidCheck's all about. So I'll just go ahead and hop in here and show you what KidCheck can do for you guys and keep your kids secure and safe. So
fantastic.
So KidCheck is all web-based, and it makes it really simple for yourself and your congregation. You can go out to KidCheck, you can click on sign up, and you can have your parents sign up for a free KidCheck account. As simple as that. They can also download our app, which allows them to put in all their information about themselves, their kids, anyone they want to pick up or don't want to pick up their kids. As far as an administrator, you can go out here, you can click on login, and you can log right into the KidCheck app from online. This allows you, it goes right into what we call our KidCheck dashboard, and the dashboard shows you all kinds of great information at a quick glance. Information like your check-in history. You can see a 30-day view of your check-in history, a year, 2 years, and you can even break this down into service times or special events. Okay. You can also see the check-in stats. And the check-in stats just shows you which one of your computer systems or check-in systems is your busiest. So if this one is too busy, then you can just go right up there and move one of your other systems that isn't as busy. You can also see any notification from us here at KidCheck making you aware of any new feature or benefit coming out. We're always updating KidCheck and making it the best possible, so watch for those notifications. Up here at the top, we've got all of our administrative tabs, with the exception of the My Account tab. The My Account tab is exactly that, showing you all of my information. You can also change the kids' information, my kids' information, and then also the people I trust to pick up my kids. Okay. So this is the only tab your parents will have. The rest of these are all administrative. I'll jump over here to the check-in tab. So this is where all the magic happens on your Sunday morning. So this is where you create all your different service times. And in your service times, you set up all your different rooms or age groups for your kids. And if you call the nursery the ladybug room, then that's what it would be called here. So all this is customizable as well. So right here, on a Sunday morning, you would just come in and click on whichever service time you're going to start, and you just click Start. It takes us into a full screen mode, and it actually locks the computer system into KidCheck. So you can't get out of KidCheck without a username and password. Give it a second. There we go. And then right here, this is where your parents would come if they already have an existing KidCheck account. They put in a phone number, or they could scan a KidCheck key tag, which you can get here from KidCheck. Right here, this is where they would create an account if they don't have an account as of yet. So they're brand new to your church, they're visiting your church, you come in and click on this. Usually only takes about 45 to 90 seconds to put this information in, and then they're off and running. They also get an email at home saying, hey, thanks for filling out your KidCheck account for your church. Please finish your account by clicking on the link below, and then they can finish that right from home. I'll go ahead and put in my information here so you can see what it looks like to check into KidCheck. So the first thing you're going to see is any notification that you have put in here as a church. So you could put in, hey, turn your cell phones to vibrate. You could also put in a reminder of, hey, we're having a canned food drive this month. Please bring your canned foods. If you wanted to, you could even put in personal reminders, such as, hey, you're in the nursery this weekend. Please wear your volunteer t-shirt or whatever else. Up here at the top, you can see here's all my information. Usually this information is hidden, but today I have it in staff mode so you can see the full potential of KidCheck. And in staff mode, a staff or a volunteer should be at this computer system, and they're looking at the screen so nobody can walk up behind them and see all this person's information. In self-service mode, all this information's hidden. That way you can face it towards your parents and they can check themselves in. Down below, we've got both of my girls, and they're already checked in, ready to check in. It's as simple as unchecking one if they're out sick, and then it defaults to the last location they checked into. So it makes it really simple for your parents. So Madison's in the 4th grade, Savannah's in the 4-year-old room, but let's say it's August. We're going to go ahead and say it's the 5th grade, so we're going to promote her, and you can do that as an administrator as well in our admin console. So right here, here's our label selection, 1 for Madison, 2 for Savannah, and you can print up to 4, so 1 for a sippy cup, 1 for a diaper bag, and 1 for a child. You can also come in and put a quick note in. And that quick note means something that's a one-off for that day. So for instance, maybe she has a runny nose and you wanted to let them know it's just allergies. Or in my case, this happens often. All right, wouldn't that be nice? Be able to tell the volunteer, look out, here she comes, she's grouchy. You can also come in here. You can print 2 guardian receipts, one for my wife, one for me, so we can divide and conquer. Or I can even come in here and say, hey, someone else besides me is picking up. And these are all the people that I've approved from my app or from home. So I'll go ahead and have my mom pick up today. You can also come in here and add a child. So you can come in and say, hey, Madison brought her friend Lauren, and Lauren will just add her information here, including her allergy information. That way you can protect this child that you brought and she's underneath you. No need to add all the information about the parents since they didn't come with you today. Right here is so you can go ahead and check in as a volunteer as well. So right here in the volunteer section, I would come in and ask, hey, where do you need me today? Hey, Darren, we're going to put you in the preschool room since Savannah's grouchy. Okay. And then at that point, you just press finish and we're out the door. So at that point, they're going to go ahead and print out these name badges. And the name badges, this is a volunteer name badge, big bold letters, who I am, where I'm authorized, when I'm authorized, and then a picture of myself. Makes it nice and easy. Also helps give your parents a warm and fuzzy about who they're handing their child off, that the church has already authorized them. Right here is Savannah, where she's located, primary guardian. It'll also list the pickup guardian. I just didn't do that back in March. Savannah's birth date, and if this birthday is within 7 to 10 days, it'll also show a birthday cake here, saying wish that child a happy birthday for the day. Medical and allergy information is listed, and that's why Savannah's is black with white lettering. That way you can see from a distance this child has something you need to be aware of. Okay. Right here is our security code. Security code is randomly generated each time. 15 million different combinations, so I doubt you'll ever see the same one twice. Here's Madison, same security code, but she doesn't have any medical and allergy information. That way, this is black with a white background, so you can see the difference between the two. But if you notice, both the girls have this warning, and this warning is telling you, hey, this family has somebody on their account that is not authorized. So maybe there's a custody battle of some kind going on, and they're not authorized to pick up. And I'll show you how to look that up here in a second. Right here's your parents' receipt, and there's no information about the parents or the children. So that way, when you go in here and pick up that, or if you lose this, nobody knows to pick up your children. But when you go in to pick up a child, you need to ask for that child by name. Then you can go in here and look at the security code, compare it to my security code, and we're out the door. Nice and simple. If by chance that parent has lost this guardian receipt, it makes it nice and easy. You can come in here and with that guardian receipt or with the child's receipt, you can scan this barcode, and by scanning the barcode, it brings up what we call our admin console or detailed lookup. So I'll jump over here and show you what that looks like. So we scan that barcode, and it brings up Savannah's information, and it shows you Savannah is being picked up by Betty. Shows you all the information about Savannah, who dropped her off, who's picking her up, how long she's been in there. And if Savannah's having an issue or needs a parent or something for the day, you can go right down here and you can text message right from this location. Hey, Savannah's sick today. Can you come back and get her? You can see all the people that are approved and then that one guy that is not. Okay, nice and simple lookup. And you guys can look this up from an iPad, tablet, or even a smartphone. So all that information is available right at your touch of your hand. Jump in here. So in the reports section, I can make your life really simple. Our reports are nice and easy. All you have to do is locate the one that you need. For instance, an attendance report. You click on that. It shows you a 30-day view of your attendance. You can come in here and you can say, hey, I just need the first service. I want to go ahead and select a few grades and generate that report. It gives you exactly what you need. Shows you your first service, your first grade, shows you your dates, shows you the child's name, their age, when they checked in, and who checked them in. You can print this out into any format you need, PDF, Excel, Word, whatever format. Nice and easy. All of the reports are that simple, and there's a ton of different reports. Allergy and medical information, birthday reports, which are nice and handy. You can even have the birthday reports print off mailing labels, and it prints right on Avery stock, so it makes it really easy to get those birthday cards out to those kids. Current check-in roster. Current check-in roster shows you all the kids that are currently checked in, who checked them in, who's picking them up. On any child that has a note or medical information, shows that information right there. So this is a great one to print off and hand out to all your volunteers or teachers. Down below you can see when your parents update their accounts. You can have all your emails of all your parents, and there's an easier way, and I'll show you that here in a second. More mailing information. Of course, a visitor check-in report, so you can get those visitors back in. Volunteer email report, a volunteer name badge, so you can laminate those and you don't have to print those out every single time. Volunteer roster, volunteer timesheet, even a youth self-check-in name badge. And this is nice and easy for the youth group or the youth minister. So you can come in and laminate those cards, have those kids scan themselves in. It checks them into the last room they checked into, but it also sends a text message to their parents. So accountability. Jump over here to the last section here. This is the people section. And the people section has all the fun stuff in it. So you have your email, and this is a broadcast email. And a broadcast email meaning you can come in here, you can decide, hey, I want to send an email out to just the parents, just the volunteers, or both. You can then select, hey, I want to send this out to just the first service or all of them. And you can even dial it down to, hey, I want the first, second, third, and fourth grade parents or all of them as well. It'll select all those parents. You can even come in here and add recipients like anyone that doesn't use KidCheck, so you could use this as a global email as well. Compose your message, just like any other email program. You can even make it come from just your church instead of yourself, but then it'll be forwarded to your email. Add a picture, do any type of text you need, even attach a document such as a brochure or maybe a Christmas event or whatever else, and send that message. You can even text message from KidCheck. Come in here, you can set up a text message a similar way. Send out a text to the parents and volunteers. And I'm going to show you a great example. So it's the first service, and nobody showed up for the nursery. So we're going to go ahead and send out a text message to all the people that have been in the nursery for the last 6 months. Hey, we're short-handed today. Is there anyone willing to help us out? Okay, nice and easy to communicate with your congregation. You can even do background checks in KidCheck through one of our partners, Protect My Ministry. It's a simple process of coming in here, typing in that person's phone number. It'll pull up their information from their parent account, and then you can run a background check on there. It's anywhere from $9 to $24, depending on how in depth. Right here's our volunteer section. In the volunteer section, you do the same thing. Come in here and type in somebody's phone number. It searches for that person. You click on that person. It adds them to your volunteer list. It'll show you where they last checked into, if they need a background check run on them, if there's one pending, or even if they need one that's or need to rerun. Okay. Right here in the people section, you can come in here and you can set up or look up somebody's account. Come in here and type in their name. It'll pull up their information, and you can come in and you can edit their information. So you can come in and update a photo, come in and update any of their information. You can come in here and give them permissions like administrative, make them a volunteer from their account, even send them a text message from here. You can come in and look at any one of their children just by clicking on their name. It'll pull up her information. See the last 10 times she's checked in. You can enable her as a volunteer if she's old enough. You can see more information if you'd like. You go right back into my account by clicking on my name. So nice and easy to get around KidCheck. Down here below, you can see the background check that has been stored. You can also add any note or document in KidCheck as well. So you can come in here and maybe add a emergency release form. You can make it confidential, put it into any category you need, and then you can store that document right in KidCheck. So that way, if you're taking the older kids to a zoo or something, you can look up that emergency release form without bringing all that documentation with you. All right. So there's KidCheck in a nutshell. I know that was a very quick overview of what KidCheck does, and there's a lot more to it. If you guys want to go ahead and ask questions or have any concerns, please do that now, and we can jump in there.
Well, that's great, Darren. Thanks so much. That's really fantastic. Myself included, being someone who is, outside of KidCheck and certainly knows how Church Windows works and interfaces with it, this really has given me a lot of insight in terms of how the actual KidCheck program works. That's really fantastic. Thank you. We did have a couple questions coming in here. One that Alyssa indicated that we probably would want to address at the end here. So the first one was, I understand that this is a parent-driven program. Am I, as the administrator, able to check in all the children instead of the parents? And I think pretty much the answer to that is yes, I think. But I just want to hear you address that if you wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point where I was showing you that check-in screen, so right here, you could have this screen facing yourself, and you could ask them their phone number, or you could even have them scan a key tag with a scanner, and then that way it'll pull up their information and you can check them in.
Right. So
if you want to have that communication with your congregation, it's a nice, easy way to do that.
Yeah, so basically it allows either the parent to, enter the information quickly and easily, or it allows the administrator in this case to be able to enter that information based on what they're being told or given or what have you. Right, makes complete
E-
sense.
Exactly. Yep.
The other question here was, let me find it, is uh, how secure is this? What could I tell parents that are nervous about all of their information online?
So we have a lot of great documentation out on KidCheck. That's one thing I really want to press is that our information is right out here on our KidCheck site in support. And if you typed in security, it's going to give you all kinds of documentation on how secure KidCheck is. There's data security right there. And you can hand this out to your parent and make them feel very secure about what it is. They're more than welcome to call us at KidCheck and talk to us about it as well. And we'll tell them about our data center and how secure that is. And the only person that really has access to the data center is the CEO, who used to be a police officer, who gets a background check run on him every single time or every single year. So all of us do here at KidCheck. So it's a very secure location to put all that information.
Great, thank you. Another question coming in here. We are a smaller church with about 150 kids. Do you recommend one check-in station or one for each room? Each room has approximately 15 to 20 kids.
So usually what we say is you need one check-in station per 50 kids. So for 150 kids, and that's when you're at that service. So if you have 50 kids per service, you have 3 services, you only need one check-in station. If you have 100 kids, you're going to need 2. So it's really dependent on how fast you want to get your children checked in and through.
Yeah, it occurs as expediency would be the key there. So sure, that would make complete sense as well. Great.
Exactly. One thing I want to touch on, Josh,
Yep.
is we recently came out with a great product, and that's our Express Check-in. So Express Check-in allows your parents to check in on their phone, and it does a pre-check. And then when they get to the church, one of our KidCheck products called the Print Hub Express will actually see that they're at the church, and they can check themselves in by walking up there. It'll say, hey, it looks like you're at church. Go ahead and just push print. So it turns the process of 20 to 25 seconds into 2 to 3 seconds in printing out that information.
So it's by device recognition basically at that point.
You got it.
Pretty much. Wow, that's really slick. So is that, I guess that sort of ties us into, is an answer to our last question here that I'm seeing coming in, which is check-in only done by phone number or scan, or am I able to check in children by name? Well, I guess that answers part of it.
So we don't do it by name because it's too easy. If I come up to the station and I type in Smith, how many Smiths are going to come up, and then I can touch on anybody's information.
Right.
So it's a little more secure with a phone number or a scan tag because you're going to only have that information, or your parents are only going to have that information.
That makes great sense. Okay, let me just take a quick review here.
Can I touch on one thing real quick,
Absolutely,
Josh?
of course.
Okay. So in KidCheck, on KidCheck.com, you guys are more than welcome to come out here and take a look on our support. One thing that we really touch on in KidCheck is, or very proud of, is how much we support our clients. Okay, so you can come out here, you can come into your rollout documents, and here's how to roll KidCheck out to all your parents, all the documentation that you would possibly need. So, and you guys are more than welcome to call us anytime. We're even here on Sunday. So we're supporting you on your busiest day of the week.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, and that honestly, I can imagine how if you're trying to roll out some new technology to, the entire congregation or to your daycare or preschool or what have you, and you're wanting to, you want to make that as effortless and certainly as painless and problem-free as possible. That's wonderful that that's all available. That's great.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Really great information. Thank you. I know I've learned so much more about the application itself, as I'm sure our attendees have. And really, again, great thanks to the folks, all of you there at KidCheck, for what you've done with us for the past couple of days. And again, as we'll have these movies out, our recordings out on our website for for any users who were unable to attend today, to get more insight on what KidCheck actually does and can do for them. So that's great.
Well, thanks so much, Josh. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you all, everyone else, for attending. We really do appreciate your taking the time to spend with us. And if you have any questions, please call us about Church Windows, or of course, as they've indicated here, please contact the KidCheck folks if you have more questions about their interface or their application that may or may not have been answered today. So I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar for everybody. And thank you all so much. All right. Everybody have a good day now. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.